this particular part of the procurement management is dealing with solicitation. So after we've determined the relationship between the contractors, the service provider with the owner and the design professional, and then we know that we got to establish them in a proper legal relations. Then after that, we are going to invite these people to come and give a proposal or give some sort of, the proposal can be a money, financial proposal. It can be a technical plus financial proposal to the client to establish that relationship. This is the final bit whereby you go out and solicitate, meaning that you go out and try to acquire the right group of people or the right other party to carry out the job for you, you see. As a client, if you're coming from the client's perspective, okay? So we call this solicitation cycle. So when the solicitation process starts, it is basically, we started off from understanding the information that we got from the requisition cycles, and the requisition cycles will have all the documents, legal documents, all prepared out. And then basically from here onwards, you need to start to prepare the solicitation documents. It's not the legal documents, but in a requisition, you're preparing the technical and the legal documents. But solicitation, you need to prepare the solicitation documents, such as the tendering documents, okay? And part of it is what you have prepared in the solicitation, but over and on top of that, you need to prepare what we call a tender or a bidding brief, proposals, some form of instructions to the tenderer, and then what kind of forms and what kind of things these items that the tenderer must fill up, or the proposal or the bidder must fill up. Okay, so you need to prepare all that. And then you need to prepare to send out invitation. And what sort of invitation are you sending out? And then after that, you'll be getting back all the bids and proposals, and then you need to select. You need to go through an evaluation procedures in order to select the right party to do the work and deliver the final product for you. This is really the very closest part that you can get to delivery. You're going out to select the people, the party that is going to do the job for you, basically. That is as much as saying that either they're going to prepare the material, or you're going to have a separate supplier, you're going to have a separate solicitation process with the supplier, or whether it's a group of people that is going to provide goods and services both in that sense. So these are what we call solicitation cycles. So in solicitation cycles is basically what we do, you see. And to put it very briefly, so what is a tender? You hear a lot, especially for civil engineering students, you hear a lot, but I think mechanical and also manufacturing, when you do production line, you will also have tendering as well. But normally in manufacturing and in other industry, the tendering are actually done by the procurement team, which can comprise of other professions as well, besides the engineers. But for civil, mainly, I think the tendering will be carried out by the processes will also be carried out by engineers themselves, you see. So it is a little bit different from industry to industry, but the usage of the word tendering involves requisition. It involves the requisition and early on requirement cycles, which the engineers are involved in, okay? Of course, if you have a procurement section from requisition onwards, it may be the procurement section, which comprise of other profession plus the engineers, will be together, or completely no engineers on the team, which is also possible, you see. And but like I said, for civil, we generally would have engineers involved all the way. Actually, our own engineers, civil engineers involved all the way. Okay, then what is actually a tender? It's an offer, that tells you that you're going to do the job for this kind of money over this period of time, and I agree to the terms and conditions that is stated in the documentations that is provided. and that's a so-called your rights, the client's rights and responsibilities, and the contractor's rights and their responsibilities. So that is what we do when it comes to making an offer. A tender is an offer, a proposal is an offer, bid is the same thing, is an offer, quotation is an offer. It's always about the money, the time, the scope of work that we are proposing to do, and then this is what I'm going to do for you as a contractor, and then what you're going to do for me as a client is to pay me that amount of money and give me this amount of time and provide me with certain facilities and site. So it has to be all quite clearly stated in the tender. Otherwise, you really cannot find the right people to do the job when you don't even know what is the job all about, what are the rights and obligations. Different rights will carry different financial value. Different obligations will carry different financial value. The more obligations that the contractor carry, the more expensive they will quote. That is definitely, you see, no one is going to do things for free. It's not charity work. This is engineering, money making business kind of work, you see. So tendering is a whole process. Okay, what is tendering? It's a whole process of going out and selecting the people. So you issue that documents, prepare, then you the documents get to be submitted back, and then evaluate that bid, that tender, the quotation, and then you award the tenderer. Basically, it happens after. It is usually in the planning stage towards the construction stage, or we usually will put it under the realization of the project, whereby you talk about tendering, award, and all that construction at the same time. So it can be in the construction stage, earlier of much beginning part of the construction stage, or it can ripple down from planning to construction, which is the stage 4 and 5 of our project life cycle. So basically, this is pinpointing to you where exactly is tendering, you see, in the picture of the whole scenarios of tendering. Yeah, the whole scenario of this particular life cycle of any project or production of any products, or basically is the delivery of the product or the project, okay, or the facilities. Okay. So, well, normally there will be some form of design ready, technical documents has to be ready, and then you want to obtain their offer, and then the offer has to be based on some form of budget that has been approved and concept that has been there. It can also start as early as design, before the design is completed. Depending on the procurement strategy and the contract type, it can start early as well. It can start during the conceptual, but that will be a more negotiated form of contracting, which is maybe using negotiated tendering method, or with proposal, and you ask your it can be a design and build kind of concept, whereby you get earlier on, you get the tenderer to come in and do the brief designs, and then later on offering the price and all that. So like I said, tendering, procurement, and contract, they are basically matching one another. It's a match of one another. Okay, it's like which is better for another. It really depends on the requirement of the project, which is the requirement cycle, what you get from the requirement cycle, you see. So it's very difficult to say that which is the best. The best is always what is the best for the project. So, but tendering is about finding that provider, getting that provider, and then you shake hand and have a relationship. You start that relationship after tendering, okay, after the proposal. Okay, so what is the purpose of tendering? You really want to get the best service, the best value service from the service provider, from the contractor, from the supplier. You want to get the best price. You want to put them in a competitive environment to offer the best value for the work to be undertaken, And yeah, I mean, like, also it's a part that you put out all your terms and conditions and get your service provider to understand them before, it's like they're coming in with open eye, that sort of thing, you see. So yeah, so there's no reason for dispute later. Okay, so that is the purpose and object